Hello guys, it's Deets the Bee here, and today we're going to be talking about both episode 11 and 12 of Cyberworld. It's been 2 weeks for us not covering this show because we had a way more important video that was out, and it revealed a lot of stupid people in this fandom. Not the D the Bee fandom, but Transformers and Batman as a whole. These people are insane, mostly with the Transformers ones. It reveals who these people are and who we're up against. This is why we need to push our message going forward, even if they like it or not, because they're too much in an echo chamber where their opinions are right and ours are wrong. So we need to push back on this. But enough about those idiots. So why don't we get into both of the Cyberworld episodes that had came out? So let's start with episode 11. Episode 11 starts with Optimus looking at the strange orb object the orb power-up, I should say, that Bumblebee gave Optimus in episode 10. He's looking at it, thinking of what it could be, which is a genuine question. How does this thing work? So then we see Bumblebee and Alita just training Bee on his skills, and after girl boss Alita pins Bee down, Optimus is like, cool your gears, and then Alita says this:
such a gloomy Gears.
You suck. And then Bee suggests to cool down and just race. And then Optimus says, what I want is plan to get more energon. That's actually kind of funny, because in episode 8 you suggested the same thing, but then you let Bee be in charge, and then you guys decided to attack Scorponok like complete imbeciles. So the fact that you're lacking on energon is all your fault, Optimus, because you didn't go with your original plan and listen to Bee the idiot's plan instead. Then Alita makes a suggestion saying maybe we can do both, and both Optimus and Bee are like, how? You said that we're collecting spawns together, but if we split up, we can collect more spawns than we usually do. You should be lucky, Alita, this isn't a horror movie, because you all be dead if you did that. Optimus then agrees, says that we need to be careful because it would be bad if we lost. Then Bee starts to gloat, saying, you're just worried that you're going to lose and I'm going to get the most energon. Well, back to the traditional Bee Cyberworld that has no character development. Oh, character development's gone. And then Alita and Optimus are like, no, not going to happen, not going to happen. And then Bee's like, sounds like a competition to me. Oh my gosh, Bee. I hate you so much in the show. I really hate you so much. And the three agree that it's going to be a bet. Guys, we're collecting resources. There's no time for bets. And then Optimus says, at the end of the race, we return here. But then Bee just drives off immediately because he's a cheater. And then Alita's like, roll out. Then Optimus confirms roll out. And then we see this monitor of all three of them. And after the monitor, we just suddenly transfer into Cyber City? Really? So we're back here. And it's not for the reason that you were here last time. So then there's an energy beacon to the challenge. And Bee is evading the security as well. And then goes into it. Where then we get a huge racetrack. And when I mean huge, I mean huge. And then out of nowhere, Skybite comes in, and Bee is like,
well, I can't think of a worse spot to race.
And then Starscream appears, and yeah, Starscream's back, and he's not very good in this episode. Why do I have to be right? In my last review, I said if they brought Starscream back, they would probably ruin it and it would suck. And I was right. Come on, guys, I didn't want to be right this one time. Starscream's episode was like the only good episode in this garbage show. And then we transition to Alita just doing a sport where she's facing Jet Mirage. So yeah, Jet Mirage is back, baby! Now you two Jet Mirage fans can be excited that he's back. And apparently Alita and Jet Mirage are doing this like frisbee type game. Hey, Alita, what happened to racing? When the Cybertronian frisbee almost hits Jet Mirage, he's like, hey, but we're friends here. And then Alita's like, yeah, since you joined Megatron. And he's like, I'm working on that. But then Alita, using the Cybertronian frisbee, knocks Mirage over. Mirage just comes back up. He's like, you realize I can fly, right? And Mirage says that that's not a good strategy. And then Alita jumps on Jet Mirage and then is like, I know. And then throws two Cybertronian frisbees at Jet Mirage. I don't know what happens. Like, his wings get cut off? Probably not. But that's what I would like to think. Because why else would you do that? But anyway, then we see Optimus going through an obstacle course. Seriously, Optimus, what happened to racing? This episode's really making me want to watch the racing episode in Transformers Energon instead. Yeah, sure, it was a stupid episode, but it was kind of way more entertaining than this. And also, it wasn't zipping to one thing or the other. It starts to be monkey instead of truck, like climbing like one. And then the timer almost went off, but then Optimus transformed into truck mode. He's like, ooh, that was a close one. I should stop letting them talk me into these things. I agree, Optimus. You need to be the leader that you're supposed to be instead of this garbage, jokey, supposed fake Optimus that you are, because this is ridiculous. So then we transition to B, who's driving, and he's racing against Skybite and Starscream. Then Skybite drives into this power-up, which leads to spikes on the track that is behind him. B has to dodge it, the spikes on the ground, in the most parkour way, and then transforms back into his vehicle mode. In the sky, Starscream tries shooting at him to get him off the track. Then B, joking around, saying, let me show you my tailpipe. Starscream shoots at Skybite by accident. B drives off. But then Starscream starts to catch the lead on the race. Whose idea was it for two car type things to race a jet? This had to be the stupidest thing you've ever done. Jets are faster than cars. So it's not believable later in the episode when Starscream lost because he is a jet. But D to the B, he obviously lost because he was cheating and going through the map, so it zapped him, and then that caused B, the amazing character, to win. Even then, you do have a fair point about that. But Starscream could have made himself go faster with his thrusters. Fighter jets, which Starscream's pretty close to a fighter jet, so I'm going to use these numbers, goes fast by 1,500 to 1,900 miles per hour. And I would say it might be faster because supposedly these are Cybertronian modes, even though that's another problem that I thought of. Why do these vehicle modes seem too similar to Earth vehicles, especially when it comes to B, Optimus, and Alita? Because they didn't go on Earth in this continuity. You think they would be more creative with these Cybertronian modes since they're supposedly from Cybertron and never went to Earth. Transition to Optimus driving on the obstacle course that he's on, which this doesn't count as racing, but then Optimus falls off the track and almost the ground, but then him falling off like electrocuted him. Security program is like, return to alt mode. So Optimus gets up and then transforms back into his truck mode, and then he is back to his bot form in the next shot where he is climbing a thing of cubes, acting like he's Mario. Then the cubes, after they're complete making the stairs, the tallest step disappears like it's Tetris, and then Optimus uses the power-up to help him get strong enough to get up there. I'm still wondering what this thing could be. What could it be that Optimus has? How does this power-up work? Exactly. We can tell that it sort of boosts strength, but we still don't know what it is. Questions that may or may not be answered. Who knows? And Optimus is like, thanks for the assist, in a sarcastic tone, and then the platform that Optimus is standing on starts tilting over, where Optimus then transforms back into truck mode. And then it transitions to back and forth with the characters after Optimus asks, I'm wondering if B and Alita are having any troubles. And both B and Alita are winning. Then they return to the exact location that they were. And Optimus is like, level 3! And then Alita and B are like, we're both level 5. And he's like, oh, nuts. And then Alita's like, as the winner, we should do a recon. What do you mean, Alita? You and B tied. So you're... Never mind. So they go in the desert to go into recon, and then they're caught by this mysterious Western type character, and it's like, who are you? And that's how the episode ends. Okay, not a good episode. For sure, this is definitely a dumb episode, but this intriguing new character could be interesting, especially since the character is supposedly called Junkion Ron, which, stupid name, but hey, it's a new character. Or is it? We'll have to wait and see. Now, the episode continues off where Junkion Ron is holding them to gunpoint and says, you better start talking before I start blasting. And Optimus tries introducing himself, and Junkion Ron's like, I don't care about your life story. All I care about is if we're gonna have a problem or not. But then Alita is like,
We're here for Scorponok, not you, so you can stop worrying and lower your weapon.
and Junkion Ron's like, the big bug? What do you want with him? And they're like,
Oh, shit.
and Optimus is like, is the shell yours? He's like, oh, I wish. And then Junkion Ron mentions he's somewhat of a collector, and Optimus is like, wait, tell us about Scorponok and the ship. But then a sandstorm happens, so Junkion Ron leads them to his secret headquarters. And in there, Energon Ron introduces himself, but when the storm's all over, Alita, Optimus, and B offer to help Junkion Ron restore his collection because his collection kind of got thrown all over the place because of the storm. And Junkion Ron appreciates it, but as they're collecting their objects to restore his collection, each character, which starts with B, gets taken out in a horror type style. Now, that's actually funny that I made a joke about a horror style type joke in the first part of this review, and now we got something that is pretty close to that. Then the same thing happens to Alita as she's collecting junk, but then it's different for Optimus because Optimus runs into Junkion Ron, who says that something tried attacking him. So Optimus helped Junkion Ron get to his base, and Optimus is like, where are the others? And then he sees B, tries to help B, but then Alita bursts the door open and says, he is the one, he's trying to suck out our energon or something like that. This is what Alita said.
Optimus, it's Ron! Ron attacked!
But then Junkion Ron pins down Optimus and sucks all the energon out of him. Great, that useless episode just is completely pointless now. We did that for nothing. Now, I'm not wishing for the characters to just be Mary Sue's and just get everything right on their own. I do want them to struggle, but it feels like that it was just for nothing because immediately the energon is taken away instead of maybe building it up where they build up their energon a bit and then they lose it. So yeah, I'm guessing they're all back to level 1 because we know Optimus is back to level 1. And then with the power of the energon, this manages to turn Junkion Ron into Galvatron.
Cycle of weight, rusting, corroding away. No longer. I am reborn. Galvatron rises!
What? How does that make any sense? Like, I knew Galvatron was going to be his own character. It was confirmed in the toy line. And I expected Galvatron to just be a normal Decepticon. I didn't expect this normal guy to turn into Galvatron by being an Energon vampire. This has to be the worst Galvatron transformation in existence. Yes, Super Energon is better than this. Even the Transformium was a better way to introduce Galvatron than this. This is so unbelievably stupid that just sucking energon out of people like they're a vampire just automatically just turns you into this new being of existence. How does that make any sense? But then Optimus uses the mysterious power-up that we still don't know what it is to try to get enough power to face Galvatron. But then Galvatron still beats him anyway, grabs the power-up, and then destroys it. What? We don't even know what this thing is, and it's gone. We don't get an explanation. But just... this thing that we have introduced 3 episodes is completely meaningless now because it's gone. We don't even know what it is, and it's gone. Then Galvatron says this world will fall to Galvatron as he transforms into this weird-looking dragon. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's similar in a way to his dragon form in Transformers R.I.D. 2003. It's cool, even though that dragon looks way cooler than whatever this thing is. And then that's how the episode ends. So yeah, these episodes are dumb. I hated both of them. They're both very, 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 very dumb episodes. And out of the worst of them, out of the 2, which one's the worst? I still say 11. 11 was just some random, stupid nonsense. I will give this episode credit for actually having an actual structured, somewhat story in this. Even though the reveals and payoffs are kind of dumb themselves, but at least it wasn't random racing nonsense unlike episode 11. This was interesting. I even liked some horror aspects that they introduced with the Junkion Ron taking them out like a horror monster or Psycho would do with their victims in a horror movie. That was actually a really nice detail that I didn't think they would also go. But these episodes are still pretty bad. Oh my gosh. This show is still leading nowhere. So I'm kind of mad though at the same time with episode 12 because it introduced a power-up that was a bit intriguing and resulted it to being nothing. I'm gonna create a whole board. I'm gonna rewatch these whole episodes again. And I'm gonna create a whole board of things, plot holes and mysteries in this garbage show. And it's gonna be a new segment on the reviews. It's gonna be called The Board or something like that. If you have a better name in the comments, please tell me. But yeah, that's it for this review. These episodes were bad, is overrated garbage. But anyway, this is D to the B, signing off. And always criticize and rise up.